I'm leaving for Patagonia in 40 hours. I have a group of 20 women counting on me to provide the most amazing outdoor adventure ever. And I am not ready. I'm not ready at all. I'm feeling so stressed out because I have Kilimanjaro gear still scattered everywhere. I have swag bags from my group that are piled up. I have to do my laundry. I need to do some meal prep for my family. And honestly, I have no idea how I'm going to get everything done, how I'm going to pull it all together, and how I'm going to show up in Patagonia feeling relaxed, rested, and ready to go. I'm Rebecca. I lead women on bucket list adventures all over the world. And today you're getting a real behind the scenes look into what it actually takes to get ready to lead a group trip to Patagonia. Now, I feel like I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself. If I mess this up, I'm not just disappointing myself, but there's 20 women who have paid a lot of money to go on this trip with me, and I don't want to let them down. I feel like this before every single group trip. So grab some coffee and come along as I attempt to transform this disaster into an organized expedition. Here's what needs to happen in the next day and a half. Gear selection for the brutal Patagonia weather, figuring out how I'm going to manage a really diverse group of 20 very different, very beautiful, very individual people. Over half this trip is previous trip participants, and so I have a good understanding of the personalities going into this trip. Next, I gotta get stuff done before I can just take 10 days off of work. Someone's gotta check the email, respond to social media messages, and keep the business going. So I gotta do all that business stuff before I can head to Argentina. So this is the real process behind leading group trips. My first priority today is weather check. So the weather's not looking awesome. It's going to be in the 30s, in the 40s, maybe in the 50s. We can expect rain. We can expect snow. We can expect clouds. This is not the weather that I had hoped for. This is the weather that I never want to lead trips in. But because the weather might be a little bleak, I need to bring the sunshine. So I have some special treats ready to go if morale gets low because of the cold and rainy conditions. And because of the weather forecast, I'm completely changing my packing strategy based on these conditions. First, my footwear strategy. It's a hike like woman trip, so naturally we're going to be doing some hiking. And it's going to be wet. And I've been debating about whether or not to take 2 pairs of running shoes or 1 pair of running shoes and 1 pair of hiking boots. I figured with 2 pairs of running shoes, I could wear a pair one day. If they get wet, it's fine because I have a dry pair back at the hotel, so I could just alternate running shoes for each day of our hikes. And that seems like a good strategy until I dug a little deeper into the itinerary. This trip is more than just hikes. We're also doing a glacier trek, which we'll probably have to wear crampons on. So instead of bringing 2 pairs of running shoes, now I think my strategy is going to be 1 pair of running shoes and then 1 pair of Gore-Tex hiking boots, which I don't really want to lug hiking boots around, but I don't really see any other option. Next, if you watched my recent video about my REI rain jacket, well, that rain jacket is staying home. Instead, I'm bringing my trusty Mountain Hardwear Stretch Ozonic jacket. This is just a shell. I've had it for probably 6 years. I really love this jacket. But when I was on Kilimanjaro, I noticed that it's got a little hole. So I need to wash the coat, put some more waterproofer on it. Then I need to fix that hole before I head to Patagonia. And finally, this is pretty weird. Typically, I fly right into a location and I start with adventure activities. But this trip, I'm actually flying into Buenos Aires a couple days before the trip with some good friends, and we're gonna hang out in Buenos Aires for a few days. We're gonna go to a tango show. I don't know what that is, but I do know that it starts at 10 o'clock at night. And I like to be in bed by 10. But anyway, we're going to be doing some like cultural stuff in Buenos Aires, which means that I need to figure out what to pack as far as clothing, because usually I just pack hiking clothes whenever I travel, but I might want to have something a little nicer to wear when we're in Buenos Aires. So I need to figure out how I can balance my adventure clothing with some nicer clothing that I can wear around Buenos Aires, And that's just something that I never do. So I got to figure out how I'm going to pack everything and fit everything, because I'm also taking a giant mountain of swag to share with the trip participants. I always bring swag, you guys. It's just kind of fun. I've also been obsessing about the hikes that we're going to be taking on this trip. And these aren't really just hikes. They're like bucket list hikes. And this is kind of unusual because often we go on these big multi-day hiking trips, and this is the kind of trip where we're going to actually base camp and then go on these big adventurous day hikes. So that's kind of new for us. I'm excited to get to sleep in a bed and take a shower. I think that's going to be delightful. We're going to be doing a Via Ferrata, a glacier trek to the Perito Moreno Glacier. We're going to get to walk on 600-year-old ice, which I think is going to be pretty cool, and just lots of really fun adventures. So come back next week because I'm going to be sharing some of the products that I'm going to be testing on this trip. And then stay tuned on our social media and watch as this group trip to Patagonia unfolds. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.